Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine. I'm here with Chuck Conine, who's the owner of Travel with Charlie. We are at the Avoya Travel Land Forum at the Dreams Bahia Mita Surf and Spa in Puerto Vallarta. We are going to talk about Avoya, what's new at Avoya, and also why this man is so honored by his very own organization here on Insider Travel Report. Chuck, thank you for talking to us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So you won a big award yesterday, and I'm told it's the Avoya Flower Fly Award. What does it signify, and what does it mean to you?
Well, the flower and the fly is sort of a representation of the Avoya logo. Right. More importantly, the Flower Fly Award represents a commitment by a particular agent or a member of the professional staff toward professionalism, integrity, enthusiasm, and caring for others in the network. You know, being somewhat of an ambassador of goodwill and happiness and positivity.
You represent all that's great about Avoya.
Well, I like to think I do. I'm truly honored by the notion that others think that way too.
We'll circle back to Avoya, but let's talk about you for a little bit. How long have you had your agency? Actually, let's go before that. What got you started in travel?
Well, I was in the hospitality industry before Avoya for 45 years. I graduated from the Cornell Hotel School and went into hotels and restaurant management in the human resources area. And I think that's where I got my start in terms of taking care of people. And I did that basically for my entire first career, if you will. And in about 2014, my mentors, Ricky and David Levine, who operate another Avoya independent agency, got me interested in coming aboard with Avoya. And I've been here ever since.
So where are you located? Do you have brick and mortar, or are you home based?
Actually, I am, like pretty much everyone else in the network, home based. My office is in my home in Athens, New York.
Do you have subcontractors or ICs?
I do. I have several wonderful ICs that work with me. Tony Sabella, a great guy who I went to school with many moons ago, and we've remained friends ever since. And Diana Mori, who is a wonderful agent that I met through a recommendation, and she's been with us nearly 5 years now.
So, and you've been in Avoya, you said how long?
Since 2015.
Okay. So you started selling cruise. And so I'm going to question you on that. I'm going to question you on land, because that's the big reason we're here. Yes. And also a little air. How are you booking? What is your specialty?
Well, we have several specialties. We started out with doing primarily leads, which is part of the Avoya Live Lead program. And we branched out from there into personal clients. And the personal clients tell us what they're interested in. And if we weren't 100% sure of what they wanted, we worked with them until we learned their interests and we booked accordingly. So right now we have specialties in cruise, land, and air.
It's whatever you need. You figure it out.
Well, we have an air expert, which is unusual for us, although we're getting ready to introduce a wonderful new Avoya air program. And our air expert, Tony, will do and does a beautiful job of booking flights for our clients.
Has he been helping them figure out the interface and how it should work?
Well, he does it all himself. And I have been working with our corporate team, Brandon Gaddy in particular, on putting together the Avoya Flights program. And then once it's all together, it'll be opened up to the entire network to use.
I figured you were ahead of the rest of the network. What would you say, what percentage are you selling cruise, land?
I'd say we're about 40% cruise and 50% land and 10% other. And when I say other, I'm talking about curated special travel that we do for repeat clients primarily.
How have the bookings been, and how did you survive COVID? I know that we talked at the first general session about the return to travel. What's it been like for you?
Well, I'm not sure I was much different than anyone else. We were very fortunate, Avoya was, as I've heard repeatedly, in holding on to a great many of our independent agents during COVID. And it was really thanks to the generosity of the Anderson family at Avoya that helped us do that. I held on, and when things came back, they really came back right at the start of last year.
Let's start talking about Avoya. So what is it that you like about Avoya? And then let's talk about some of the new programs that we've been learning about. We already talked about one, but
Right.
more.
Well, I think the main thing, and I mentioned this to my colleagues in accepting the award, the family that we talk about in the sales specifics, that we get into with potential people coming on board, is really a family atmosphere. And that was the first thing that impressed me. After that, the training that I received was outstanding from people who had been with the network for many years, who understood that things evolve over time. And if you weren't getting something right off the bat, I was assigned a coach who could assist me one-on-one with any areas where I had difficulties, allowed me to retake exams if I needed to make sure that I had it down pat. And, that's not easy to find in any company, let alone a fast-paced travel business.
You're here because not only did you win the award, but you're selling pretty well. What do you attribute to your success?
Well, probably the biggest gift I've been given is the ability to work with just about anybody, and to
Suppliers, travel suppliers.
But also my colleagues, to first listen. I have another mentor who's no longer with us at Avoya, and she was a big fan of listen first, but listen with your heart and not just your ears. Mm-hmm. And I sort of went back to my roots, the person that I really am, to use those skills in my job. And
so you're not selling, you're kind of consulting. You're really...
Totally. Yeah, that's right, Alan. I mean, selling is more about getting to know the client. And what's important to the client is, does the client really want to go on a trip by himself or herself? And if so, will they be comfortable? Will they feel safe? Will they, do they have specific goals for what's going to make them feel really good when they come home? And that's the kind of information I seek before I book a single thing.
And that's why you have that 10% you were talking about of the 50, 40, and 10%.
Well, I get kind of a kick out of doing individuals, custom curated trips, particularly if I'm aware of the area and have previewed. Oh, yeah, sure, like the Amalfi Coast in Italy. And now, last year I had the great pleasure of going to Thailand and seeing some resorts in the southern provinces. And can you imagine what a totally relaxing, beautiful vacation that would be for a family or for people who just need to get away? I love doing those kind of curated vacations.
So where do you see your company in 5 years? How do you want to steer it?
The same way we're proceeding now. My goal is not to be the biggest, nor the best. My goal is to appeal to people who appreciate having somebody who understands them, who is interested in what they really want to get out of their travel adventure. And we'll take the time to learn those things, like I said, before we book anything, so that when we book, there's very little chance we're going to be canceling.
What's an example of something that Avoya does that really helps the travel advisor, specifically you?
We spent all morning today almost talking about marketing. And the marketing that Avoya has done, particularly in the last year, has been just outstanding. For example, Avoya has come out with this program called Leave It to the Experts.
Planning a vacation by yourself is hard. Planning the wrong vacation is even worse. That's why with Avoya Travel, every vacation starts with a real human. That's me. We learn about you to help plan and book your perfect vacation. Did I mention that Avoya offers exclusive deals? Visit the Avoya website to schedule a call. Your dream cruise, tour, or resort vacation is waiting. Avoya. Oh yeah.
And I thought to myself when I first saw that, what a great point that Avoya is making is, because we've gone through this era where nobody has time and they got to do it online. And then what? If something goes wrong, leave it to the experts. And the experts are people who do this for a living and are also going to be your personal travel advisor. And nothing benefits travel advisors more than that.
But I see you as, you're working hard, you're doing your bookings, and you don't really have time to think about it, the marketing, and suddenly they go, hey, look what we've developed for you, and you look at this, it's like a gift.
Well, absolutely. And it's honest. I mean, the honesty in that campaign and the simplicity of it is that, look, you can go out and try doing this on your own, but a lot has changed in the world, particularly with travel, since COVID. And consequently, who better than your professional travel advisor to help you navigate where you want to go, how you want to get there, other than your travel expert. So I'm totally behind it, and I think we've really benefited from it.
So Chuck, how do you feel about ASTA right now and what they're doing for travel advisors?
The American Society of Travel Advisors has been an outstanding partner to the travel industry, in particular during COVID. They were instrumental in helping the government understand that the travel industry was absolutely critical. And since then, and before then, and hopefully for a good long time to come, they are a real partner to travel professionals, whether you're in a small company or a large one.
Before we sign off, we're going out to over 120,000 travel advisors. What's your advice to them?
Keep doing what you love, and do it with enthusiasm, positivity, energy, from the heart, and in service to your ideals and their goals. And I believe we can all be very happy following that path.
There's that integrity you won the award for. Chuck, thank you so much for talking to us.
It's my pleasure, Alan. Thank you very much for having me.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.